If you go anywhere near those paths,
if
you're
Putin
dead.
is
Once again,
using
let's try another
nukes
stage.
for
Possessor.
defensive
Well, it's
purposes,
not any easier, especially when I'm losing my patience. Look at this. There's so much stuff coming at you. Bullets are flying everywhere.
I mean,
Let's pause this. Just look. Look. Any of these
look,
areas are dead zones. You have stuff coming at
he
you
has the
every
right
which
to
way, which means
self-defense,
there's not
right?
one safe spot because you need to keep moving forward. So you're in
And the thing
dangerous
is,
way
like, how
all
many
the
types of
time. You
nukes
just
are
have to
there?
play the shit out of it until you know in advance exactly what's going to happen. Unless you play this game, you have no
There's,
idea how hard it is. Let me try to
uh,
explain. Okay? Imagine if I were to draw a maze on a sheet of paper. I'm asking you to draw a line from the beginning of this maze to the end.
subterranean.
You can't run into
There we
any
go.
dead ends, and you can't touch
I
any
want.
lines. Now,
There's
while you're trying to do
subterranean,
this,
which
I'm moving the
is
maze to the left.
geographic
It would drive you fucking
nukes
nuts. And if that's a bit
that are
too theoretical to
detonated.
accept, then let me explain
There's
it this
nukes
way.
that are
Imagine
detonated
playing
under the
Eggman 2.
ground.
Imagine you have no health bar. Imagine if you get hit one single
That's one
fucking
type.
time, you're dead.
Then there's nukes that detonate on the ground.
Unless you're a hardcore expert, you're going to take a few
There's nukes that detonate under the water. There's nukes that detonate in the atmosphere. There's nukes that detonate in space. And, well, in the atmosphere one is probably the most interesting one because depending on the altitude that's detonated at, it could actually cause other effects, especially when it's paired with such devices as harmonic atmospheric
sometimes you come to like a blockade of enemies, just a flood of bullets coming down the whole screen. It's just one
residency
if you're in that area, you're simply dead.
research
So
atmospheric
I can't complete
projects.
a stage. This game is
I think
so hard.
that's how HARP is. I mean, I did alright. I always forget HARP. But and that's the whole thing. How they create these chain reactions. And the thing is that nukes are essentially man-made supernovas, which are just highly impressive. And
I don't know what Silver Surfer's powers are, but isn't he supposed to be pretty strong?
with Russia using older tech,
It's like some sort of fucking joke.
well, we have our JDAMs, and so it's not, and so it's like,
This game should have been classic.
and maybe these Russians, they have these old bodies of machine, but they're actually upgraded. Just maybe. And at the very least, if the Russians are able to put on this offensive,
You bet on picking up that hitchhiker. Now, try betting on the
especially if
I think I need to
the Russians are so bad and they're just gonna freaking hire the greatest, they're gonna conscript the freaking criminals and such because, well, they're second to Nazis.
Or is it gonna suck? We'll take a wild fucking guess.
And so put these lames in these Soviet era technologies to put an offensive on the Ukrainians, who are pleading with allies for munitions.
Come on, your mother. Come on, fuck you up, come on. You know, is his other arm paralyzed or something? What's going on? Come on, you motherfucker, come on, you motherfucker, come on. Yeah, got him. And how sad is this?
Use these newer munitions on these older technologies, and being that Ukraine is in such a state of destitute
Anyway, let's take a look at the
that
status screen so I can try my best to explain the object of this game.
it requires the aid of other nations in order to fulfill its defensive needs.
And that's nearly impossible when one guy can take all your life. And that's kind of interesting. You don't
The
know
Russians
who
can
you're gonna kill. Imagine if in Super Mario Brothers there was a
push
counter
through their
exactly
surplus.
how many Goombas and Koopa Troopas are in the entire game.
And by the time that
Kill them all. Alright, so you got your life bar, which is self-explanatory. Then you got a beat bar.
Like, why
Yeah,
can't
your
people
feet
see
have
this?
power too, right? You can run by holding the B button, but that's
Friggin'
foot power.
Ukraine has
Now,
no
let me ask you a
weapons.
question.
They're
What's the
requiring
difference between
weapons.
saving your foot power
The
and
Russians are
using it to
using
get your
older
ass whipped?
weapons
Is it better to run
in
and
order
use
to
your foot power,
extinguish
or to walk
those
slow and
newer
waste your fucking
weapons.
time? Also,
And
if you
so,
walk on broken glass,
by
that
the
also
time
uses
that
your foot power. And I can see
the
people
Allies
like this,
can no longer
movie Die
fund
Hard, John McClane,
the
he's in
Ukrainians,
pretty bad shape, and by the end of the movie, he's limping. Now,
the
that's
Russians
nice that they try to
are
make it like the movie, but there's sometimes when you
demonstrating
should do that, and
their
sometimes when it's really not necessary. That's
military
like with a lethal
force.
weapon, if you're going around eating dog biscuits
It's
for
that
power-ups.
simple.
So let me finish up with all this shit. You got your weapons.
Be safe, be kind, stay strong. I love y'all.
Map that doesn't